I'm John Howard, and today's short video is going to be actually about Charlie Munger and his blueprint for your first 1 million. I actually have been speaking mostly about real estate on this channel. I've done short and medium term furnished rentals for literally the last 2 decades, and I've been talking a lot about that and sharing a lot of my secrets. For that, because there's certainly a lot of secrets, and the beauty of that is really building wealth, holding on to the asset, which you're effectively, provided it's a good loan, you're getting paid to, someone else is paying you to hold on to an appreciating asset, which is really nice. But I also want to talk about, actually how to acquire some money first to actually, so you're in a better position to buy that real estate. So one of the best ways I know how to do that is to actually take some lessons from Charlie Munger and also Warren Buffett in terms of how to, in getting your first million. And there's also, other lessons too, like how to get your first 100K, and they're going to come next. But here we go. So this is Charlie Munger's blueprint for your first 1 million. And in case you don't know, Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's longtime business partner. Charlie Munger died, in the end of 2023, literally about a month before his 100th birthday. So he lived a very long and prosperous life. So here we go. 5 game-changing lessons from a billionaire's early days. So Charlie Munger didn't start out rich. In fact, one of his first jobs, or it might have been his first job, but one of his first jobs was working in Warren Buffett's grandfather's grocery store for, back then, literally 20 cents an hour. Yet he built his own $2.4 billion fortune by following principles that anyone can apply today. After studying Charlie's interviews and a lot of his writings, here are 5 critical lessons that can accelerate your path to your first $1 million. Number 1 is own equity, don't just earn income. As a young lawyer, Munger made a brilliant shift. Instead of billing clients hourly for cash, which he always did, he also started accepting equity stakes in their businesses as payment. Why? Because $10,000 in cash is just $10,000 in cash. But $10,000 in equity that earns 3% of a business's profit pays you forever. Action step: negotiate equity in your compensation package. Invest in dividend-paying stocks, or start your own business. Stop trading time for money. Make money work for you. If you like any of this content, if you are in a place where you like this rentals content, I have some links in the description. What you can do is you can click on the link, or also an email address. You can contact me if you're somebody that is, if you're interested in maybe speaking with somebody that's a little bit further ahead of you. I have something called an SMTR launch kit, short medium term rentals launch kit. Very inexpensive, and I also have a way to kind of work with people. Again, just very basic, simple coaching in various forms. So you go ahead and see those links in there. Also, you can consider subscribing to the channel or giving the video a like. And then you also, if you know somebody, maybe not yourself, but if you know somebody that might like this content, you can send it to them. Thank you. Become your own most valuable client. Munger realized that he was billing clients hundreds of dollars per hour, but not paying for himself, right? So what was his solution? He worked for himself at least 1 hour each day before starting his regular job, focusing on real estate deals and construction projects. Action step: dedicate 1 hour daily to building your wealth through side projects, learning high income skills, or investing. If your job covers your expenses, every dollar from this self-employment can go straight to wealth building. Number 3, sprint to $100,000 in savings as fast as possible. Munger famously said, the first $100,000 is a bitch. I've never said that on YouTube, but you got to do it. I don't care what you have to do. Here's why. $100,000 earning 10% annually generates $10,000. $10,000 earning 10% generates only $1,000. The math is painful, but it's obvious. Action step: live below your means, cut unnecessary expenses, and maximize your savings rate. Walk everywhere, use coupons, do whatever it takes to hit this critical milestone of saving your first 100,000. I know that's kind of like obvious. I mean, it sounds obvious, do the coupons, whatever, but it just is what it is. Do whatever you have to do, to just not spend as much money. And that's hard in this day and age. I mean, I don't know what that, is, for you or for anyone. Like for me, I know I try to not eat out. I mean, that's one thing, because I'm always, very, budget conscious. I always try to not eat out. I mean, sometimes it's not really possible, especially if I'm doing like at one of my properties and doing property management or certain duties related to a property. And you have to eat out because I'm not really gonna, I don't really feel like buying groceries and cooking outside of my main home, right? Okay, number 4, don't over diversify. A little kind of, side note, but you must know what you're doing. Munger's portfolio consisted of just 3 stocks: Berkshire Hathaway, Costco, and the Daily Journal. He compares this to a local businessman who owns 4 quality businesses in his town. Is that businessman diversified? Yes, he absolutely is. Action step. If you're willing to research and understand businesses deeply, concentrate your investments in quality companies. If not, stick with the broad market index funds like the S&P 500. Number 5, let compound interest work its magic. Ben Franklin left $4,400 to Boston and Philadelphia in 1780. After 200 years of compound growth, it became $6.5 million. Munger learned this lesson. Money makes money. And the money that money made makes money. That's kind of like a lot of statements of money makes money. But the point is that money makes money, and then the money that money made can then compound, more. So you got to let everything compound. So the action step here is start investing immediately, even small amounts. That $500 monthly investment isn't just $500. It's potentially $5,000 to $10,000 in the future, when compound interest works its magic. So the bottom line here from Charlie Munger is Munger's path wasn't just about get rich quick schemes, obviously, or lucky breaks. It was about understanding that wealth comes from owning assets that generate income, working for yourself, and letting time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. Your first $1 million isn't just about the money. It's about learning the principles that will serve you for a lifetime. Start implementing these lessons today. And in 10 and 20 years, you will thank yourself for taking action. So what do you think? What's your biggest takeaway from Munger's approach? Tell me what you think. Everybody, I actually have been doing a lot of videos on real estate. And while that video is not really about real estate, it's really, I feel like, a valuable lesson from Charlie Munger on how to get to your first 1 million. I'll also do some videos on how to get to your first 100,000. It basically, again, I've done short, medium term furnished rentals for literally the last 2 decades. And during that time, I also launched and operated 4 different businesses that got up to 7 figures or more per year. And during that time also, when I was doing the furnished rentals, it was I owned or managed 5 of them, during that time. So it's a very manageable thing to actually do alongside of other things, because as you probably know, life can be very expensive, and it's a very good thing to be owning real estate as you're doing other things, and having that real estate rented out, and then effectively being paid by rents to actually own an appreciating asset, and then it goes up over time, and then you actually pay those loans down through amortization over time. You get the tax write-offs, you get the rental income and cash flow, and then you also get the ability to borrow against it. So if you are interested in this type of content, you can give the video a like. You could also consider subscribing to the channel. While this video wasn't exactly about real estate investing, I did it because people, do need to, have some lessons on how to actually make money. And I realized that some people don't even really have a regular job. And especially with AI, people are concerned about their job, or they maybe don't have a job, right? But basically, even with real estate, there are ways that you actually can make money as a job, right? Aside from being a real estate agent, you can, invest in deals, you can do flips, and even if you don't have a lot of money, you could still partner with people with other money. I've actually done that. Or you could do rentals, in which case you could do rental arbitrage, where you rent a place out and then re-rent it on Airbnb and VRBO. Or you could go in and purchase a place. And then in the case of not having a lot of money, you would just have to get partners and you would have to get private money. You can do that. The top hosts these days are actually making money about around a 20%, and some of them way more than that, 20% cash on cash return, on premium short-term rentals. And you can get going on that pretty much ASAP. And the beauty in that is you're getting the 20% cash on cash return, and then you're getting all the other 4 benefits too: appreciation, tax write-offs, the loan amortization, and then also the ability to borrow against that asset in the future, provided that you hold on to it. Okay, so hopefully you guys like this. Again, I'm going to have some links in the description area. And it's, I have something called the SMTR Launch Kit, which stands for Short and Medium Term Rentals. You can go ahead, you can click on that and you can get that. It's very inexpensive, very basic. I also offer very basic and inexpensive email coaching if you'd like to possibly, work with an expert or somebody that's a little bit further ahead of you. And I've got my email address in there as well if you'd like to contact me. Thank you and have a great day.